Like, there we go. Hi, hello, everyone. Now I'm here too. Before, I wasn't involved. I was just, but now I'm here. Hi, friends. How's it going? Happy Friday night. Welcome to our indie game spotlight, where we love to try out and showcase cool indie games. And tonight, we have a heckin' cool one with a great title. That's right. I'm sorry. Did you say Street Magic?
I'm sorry. Did you say Street Magic?
I believe
sorry,
I said Street Magic.
Did you say Street Magic?
We did not play. We did not.
I'm sorry. Did you say street magic?
I'm sorry. Did you say street magic? We're gonna come up with at least 15 other ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've already decided that the game within this game is how many different ways you can say the title of this game, because it's very, very good. It's very, very good. And if you haven't seen this yet, put !! Street Magic in the chat right now, and you can pull up the link to go and find it. The secret tally count has started of the naming of the game. So thank you all so much for being here. I want to thank everyone who is here to hang out with us. I want to thank all the wonderful players who all enthusiastically agreed to play this game. I have to say, I was very excited by how many people were like, me, which is so much fun. If you'd ever like to come and play one of these games with us, we do try and very regularly do our indie game spotlight, and we do call it out in the Discord that we have. So come out and play games with us. This game is by Caro Asercion. I'm not sure if I said that right, but I hope I did. And you should go check out all their heckin' good games. They go by Sea Excursion on Twitter and on their itch.io, so go check out their cool games. They make lots of them. So my name is Jess, this is my channel, and I'm very happy to have you all here tonight. I really quickly want to thank Roll20, who's very nice to highlight us and help us with game and things like that as part of their Spotlight program. And I want to thank, as I said, all the players who are here today. !cast in the chat will help you find these cool people and all that they are doing. So go find them, support them. They're cool beans, because I said so. They're here to tell fun stories today. So let's go around and say hi to everyone. Next in line next to me. Oh, I'm pointing the wrong way. It's this way. Is Morgan.
Hi. I'm Morgan E. Lewandowska. You can find me over on Twitter at @mlewandowska, which just use the link in chat, because spelling my last name is a disaster. But I go by both she, her, and they, them pronouns.
Perfect. Next in line is Jake.
Hi, I'm Jake. I'm at Jacob Honey, not spelled like the sweet little whatever honey is. But anyways, there's a link as well. I go by he, him pronouns. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Awesome. What's up is Anton.
Hello, I am Anton. At Anton Carmula on the Twitters and most other places.
Awesome. And last but never, ever least, Shania, thank you so much for being here today. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you for having me here. My name's Janaya, and you can find me at Janaya pretty much anywhere on the internet if you can remember how to spell it. And I use she, her pronouns.
With that said, I just want to say you can see below us, we have a cool board laid out. We have it started. We've started to like kind of start the layout. If you play this game in person, oh my god, everyone's just moving around the map. Sorry, it's very good. Excellent. I'm glad this is going as it is already. Amazing.
Swimmingly.
Yes, swimmingly already. Amazing. Street magic. So, so we are going to build a city with this game. This is a game that is built that you can do in one session, telling a story, going around every time. or you can play it multiple times. But we're gonna try until build up a whole city in one night. That's the plan. We are using this board so y'all can see along with us what we are doing as we are doing it. And the game actually is kind enough to have a bit of an introduction of itself. So we will go around reading the introduction. Morgan, do you want to start us off?
I will. I'm Sorry, Did You Say Street Magic is a city building story game. We take turns exploring our city. By the end of the game, we will have created a place that none of us could have imagined alone. Our agenda as players is to create a vibrant and multifaceted city, to fill that city with life and personality, and to expand on each other's ideas together.
Unlike many tabletop games, I'm Sorry, Did You Say Street Magic is played without a game master or facilitator. The game goes back and forth between phases of independent and collaborative creation. At times, we will decide on certain aspects of the city as a group, but on your turn, each of us has complete control over what we add to the city.
So next, player safety and support. I'm Sorry, Did You Say Street Magic is designed for light, breezy gameplay. However, much like exploring the city in real life, a game of street magic might lead us down strange paths or unexpected directions. And here are a few different safety tools that we can use during the game to look out for each other. And any of us can use these tools at any time during play.
Rest stops. To take a rest stop, everyone playing steps away from the table for a few minutes. We use this break to stretch, catch our breath, and get some water or a snack if we need. We can also use it as a chance to talk about the game so far and the direction it is heading.
So there's also holds. Rest stops are a great way to check in with your fellow players, but they can't always resolve issues that come up in the moment. Holds are a tool that work to address that concern. Anyone can call for a hold at any time to pause the fiction of the game. I think at this point we could probably use our own tools. Is that cool with everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, because the next part, so those are two safety tools that are specific to this game, which is always amazing when a game thinks not only to include safety tools, but to add some of its own that makes sense with the story and the theme. So it then goes on to give us our lines and veils, and those are a safety tool that we always use on this channel, along with our X and O cards. So we have discussed all of those, and we have actually put them on the screen for everyone to see and to keep that knowledge available as part of our story at all times. So on the screen, you can see we have our lines. Our lines are hard-nosed. They are things that will not come into our game at all. And the things that we will not have at all in the story are sexual assault, torture, racism, homophobia, transphobia, justice in the criminal system, and snakes. Those things don't come up at all. Our veils are things that, should they come up, or if they exist in this world, they will promptly disappear behind a veil. So those things are animal suffering, sex, broken bone injuries, and bugs inside the skin. So those are things we wanted to be open about and share with you to know. So the next part of the game is setting the tone. This is a part we will all do together. We have our little tone bubble with words, literally words in it. But the game gives us an entire page of sort of themed words to choose from. So actually, Morgan, do you want to read that paragraph?
Yeah. The first part of creating our city is establishing its tone, the color and texture of the setting we want to explore. As a table, let's decide on 3 adjectives that will set the mood of our city. We should pick at least one from the list below, but we don't have to limit ourselves to these options. Adjectives include ageless, airy, boastful, bright, brittle, cluttered, cramped, crisp, dark, dynamic, eclectic, eerie, ethereal, faded, fickle, frigid, grand, gritty, heavy, hungry, hollow, idle, jagged, kinetic, loud, magnetic, melodious, narrow, ornate, patient, precise, raw, ruthless, soft, spare, spirited, sprawling, sturdy, tense, tidy, tranquil, vast, vivid, volatile, warm, wayward, wry, and yawning.
Any words jumping out at anyone?
I like melodious.
I like that too.
I see a lot of nodding. I'm gonna write it down.
Yes.
Any other ones?
Kinetic
like
is
the-
kind of jumping out.
Literally.
Go ahead, Ginny.
Oh, I was saying, I like the idea of either brittle or volatile, the idea of kind of a space that we live in but have to be careful with in some way.
Mm-hmm. So that was brittle or volatile?
Volatile.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What do people think between those two?
I like brittle.
Yeah, actually. There's something really interesting about the idea
Yeah.
of like
Mhm.
Being both melodious and
brittle.
brittle.
I mean, things that are brittle can be melodious.
Yeah.
'Cause-
I kind of like kinetic as well.
Is that cool with everyone? Nick?
Yeah.
We have like a musical, moving, crinkly world.
Already got ideas floated. This is fun.
Thank you, spell check. Awesome. Okay. So, let's see. Jake, do you want to read the next paragraph that's in brackets below?
Yes, I sure will. That's in brackets.
Yeah, like it's in quotes. Sorry.
Quotations.
Okay.
Quotations.
Quotes.
My apologies.
Oh, no,
I'm
you're
like,
good.
This. It's in these. It's
Yeah.
in.
We use these. No, we use these words to start a brief conversation about our city. Let's come up with a big picture idea. Is it modern, riffing on a city that we're all familiar with? Is it in the past or in a strange speculative future? Do ghosts exist? Do robots? Do talking animals?
Okay, right off the bat, to me, it's magical and it's different. Like it's.
Yeah.
Street magic.
I'm having a thought along the lines of melodious magic.
Mhm.
Have you guys seen? I think it's The Princess and the Frog,
Yeah.
and you've got the very sort of jazzy magic scenes in that.
Mm.
So that's one sort of aspect that I'm thinking of.
Just music is a very strong part of the city's life.
And well, as having, I like the idea of actually including magic.
Mm.
So having magic that is musically based.
Oh, that mean is it okay? Now, sorry. I always do this. I'm terrible. But because you said that, I was like, okay, there's like music magic. But is there literally are those the three types of magic in the city? Melodious magic, kinetic magic, and brittle magic.
Oh,
Ooh.
interesting.
I like that.
What do y'all think? Or like something?
The-
I like
can
it doesn't have to be just because I said it doesn't mean it needs to
Uh-huh.
be a thing. I just
I mean, you could have mixtures of all three.
Yeah, I like that though.
Because you can have kinetic melodies and you can have brittle melodies.
And brittle, kinetic magic.
That's just falling.
it's just dropping things so that they crash.
That's the anvil dropping from.
That's my life magic.
So this is the city building creation process that's equivalent to throwing paint at a canvas.
So if we have these three forms of magic, do they kind of come from the city itself, or does the city itself come from the magic? Like, is it where they rise and fall, these qualities rise and fall? So maybe the city is kind of built up of some material that could be either melodious or kinetic or brittle. And as the different energies become stronger in an area, like that area sort of exhibits that more.
Right. Like different
I'd like
neighborhoods are more towards a certain type of magic, maybe.
I like the idea of also sort of having a feedback loop there. So the city areas have that particular vibe, but the people within those areas also riff off that and sort of enhance it.
I like it.
Do ghosts exist? Do robots? Do talking animals?
Ghosts absolutely exist, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna say ghosts exist.
Yeah.
I think they don't just exist. I think they're really commonplace.
Okay.
Like,
They're
yeah, there's another ghost.
Yeah, like are they just one type of citizen of the city though? Or are they like just memories of city past? Did you say can ghosts vote?
What are the civics?
This is we gotta stop everything. Social issues.
That's not broad strokes.
No.
Are we thinking the city's more like modern? Is it futuristic?
With like the sort of brittle aspect of it, I like to think it's like very old and like maybe like, you know, these three different types of magic or the people in it are sort of like keeping that in balance and everything's sort of always on the verge.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like
For some reason, every time I thought about this particular session, I've had this vision in my head of a 1920s Art Deco style.
See, that's what I was gonna say. Is it something we would recognize as a city? Is it like old New York, or is it like something we, you know, like outside of our normal perspective of a city? Like, especially because we did say that the city is almost made up of the elements melodic, kinetic, and brittle. Does that mean is it literally made out of materials that are unfamiliar to us, or like? I'm asking questions. I don't have answers.
Yeah.
I just want to be clear.
I mean, I like the idea of having an actual physical city, rather than just being purely magic. But the magic feeds into the structure of the city. So I'd sort of liken it to, say, if you had, I don't know, an area in the Feywild where the magic of the people in that area creates the village-scape that they live in. But that village-scape is still a physicalized existence. If that makes sense.
Sorta. I mean, we can also play to find out some of the stuff, right? But
I like that someone in chat talked about crystal glass and the idea that maybe it's like the changing happens in that sense of like glass is both a liquid and a solid, and so the magic creates the solidity of the glass, but if the magic isn't there to hold it into that type of form, it kind of starts to erode. So it could be this very crisp edged, you know, art deco-y kind of look, but without enough energy putting into it, it sort of slips down, like all those edges get dulled and all those
so maybe like
structures.
There's a bit of contrast in there, like you've got like very nice like structures, but then in some places where that magic isn't holding it together, it's sort of falling apart. You mean?
Yeah, and maybe in those areas where it's falling apart, it's not just that it's crumbly, it's that it's kind of, it doesn't make sense. It loses order, just like glass
Okay,
loses
yeah.
order. So you get that the laws that we expect to happen don't apply as soon as we go into this one area.
And the other nice aspect of glass is it's also brittle. So you could have the two types of magic competing with each other. You need the kinetic magic to form the glass, but you also get a form brittle magic from breaking it.
Into it.
Amazing. I mean, that sounds good to me. How y'all feeling?
Yeah, I feel like we've put down those, broad brushstrokes and like have something to work off of.
Yeah, perfect. So the next step is laying the foundation. Begin by adding just a few cards. I mean, I feel like we've sort of been, I feel like we're going a little bit in depth already, but I guess, does anyone want to volunteer to go first? Otherwise I have to do it. So I could do it. Because it specifically says, if one player is facilitating the game, they should lead. Otherwise, the player who most recently rode public transit should go first. So we'll start by doing an exploring the neighborhood, which is a sort of common step. I
think the last time I rode transit was the subway in December.
I haven't left the house in 5 months.
Yeah.
None of us. The answer is none of us.
None of us.
Yeah, it's a weird time.
Yeah, no, seriously. I'm like, oh god, the last time public transit.
I mean, normally it would be me because I use it every day when I get to work. But I'm not going first.
Yeah. So basically we start by walking through the process of creating a neighborhood, giving it a name, and it suggests doing the visit a landmark move, and then it jumps to naming the city, because maybe at that point we'll have, so start thinking about it. Start thinking about what you might want to name the city.
Sure.
Because when we come back to that, it specifically says. So we're gonna do a wander the city, or the neighborhood, or visit a landmark. I want to do a landmark. I'm gonna throw a landmark down. So. I can think of something that's too.
Do we want to read the rules for this real quick?
For the wandering the city?
Yeah, or just visiting a landmark.
Yeah, I could do that.
You might need to put a neighborhood down first.
They must be played within a pre-existing neighborhood card.
Ah, fine. Yeah. Okay, because it says exploring a neighborhood, follow the instructions, explain your thought at the table. How is this particular neighborhood essential to the city's existence? That's fine. I still want to do what I want to do. I don't care. So
just make it a neighborhood instead of a landmark.
That's all. It's just there's gonna be a whole neighborhood.
The neighborhood is just defined by this one thing.
Yeah. Oh gosh. What's true name? Once you create a neighborhood, introduce your fellow players in broad strokes to the idea of visiting a landmark. Okay, yeah, so it's a little bit of both from the sound of it. I just have to start with neighborhood, landmark.
Yeah.
So exploring a neighborhood, the broadest of the three categories of cards are neighborhoods. They bump up against each other. They contain all other cards within the game. And then the other options for every time you kind of do a round, there's wandering the city, you do neighborhood, landmark, and you can do a meet a resident. So you can kind of do between that. But the landmark always goes inside the neighborhood, and the resident also goes like they kind of layer, they kind of stack. So do a neighborhood. Man, it was really a landmark. I really have to fiddle with this now.
Well,
Okay.
I tell you what, why don't you do both?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of how to do it. So
Or I could do a neighborhood, and then you could do a landmark within that.
yeah, if you want to do a neighborhood, go for it. I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Please feel free.
Let's see. Neighborhoods are the broadest, most overarching type of cards that you can play to build your city. So we need to think up a title. This is what denizens of the city call this neighborhood on a daily basis. It could be named after the local geography, the history of its residents, or the types of businesses that are conducted there. To name just a few examples, write this at the top of the card. So, let's see. In our musical, kinetic, brittle glass city, there is the Treble neighborhood.
Mm,
That was the opposite of what I wanted to do.
that's interesting.
And in the Treble neighborhood, what's the reputation? In a couple sentences, describe out loud the neighborhood's general vibe. Is it predominantly residential or commercial? How do its residents think of themselves? What do other neighborhoods think of them? Invite other questions to ask questions and build on their answers. Write a quick summary near the middle of the card, right below the title. Keep the reputation brief. What you say out loud is more important than what you jot down. Just note a few words to jog your memory. So I think the Treble neighborhood is kind of like Midtown in New York. So it's like theaters and performance spaces and a bunch of that mixed in with like some residences, but it's mostly like a performing arts neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
It tends to be like busy. People tend to avoid going through the Treble neighborhood unless they really have to, because it's trouble to be in Treble.
I figured you were going for that. I was waiting for it.
Who has the pun count?
Look, it had to happen. There was no way of
even
not doing that.
Like a famous musical number called Trouble in Treble.
Yeah. Theater district. It's trouble to be in Treble. Yeah, do you guys have any questions?
Is it like the flashy part of the performance arts area, like Midtown New York, and then there's kind of a seedy performance area, or are those things all mixed in together?
I kind of like the idea of them all being mixed in together, but I feel like there's also maybe in one of the more brittle spaces in town, there's like even smaller, like off Broadway houses that are like, we do the real stuff. Yeah, so it's like a mixture of, there's no good way of explaining this without actually using real life terms of like Broadway and off Broadway, but not like off Broadway.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
There's theater for profit, and then there's theater for art, and then there's like experimental theater is elsewhere.
So kind of what we call mainstream in art house.
Right.
Cool.
Any other questions, any ideas? Okay. A true name. Every neighborhood has a magic all its own. To confer a true name, come up with 2 or 3 descriptive sensory images that paint a clear picture of the neighborhood in your mind. Write these at the bottom of the card. True names can be tactile details of the space, but they can just as easily be metaphorical or symbolic abstractions intended to elicit an idea or personality more than a literal representation. Then they give some examples. Think poetically and play to the senses when coming up with true names. Dizzying mirror glass windows, cobblestone boulevards, a funicular railway, sidewalk patios, burnt coffee, painted fingers, a forever sunset, hush secrets, an abandoned dream. Any of these could be facets of a true name.
So, I mean, some things that you said to me that like come across as like things in this are like formative space or thought I had stuff and I don't.
Totally get that.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to try and come up with. Let's see.
It's part of the melodic magic, right?
Right.
So is it musical performance?
Well, it's weird because performance art also is by nature kinetic.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because the landmark I was thinking of was melodic kinetic.
Oh, perfect. A true name. True names are interesting. Sonorous visage? Maybe?
It goes on later in the rules to say that true names are not necessarily fixed.
Right.
So you can have a different true name for different people, but for the same area.
Mm. Cool.
So this is a true name for the neighborhood.
Yeah. Into it. All right, Jess, you want to make your landmark?
Okay. It's me. I'll go. Okay. I like that this is the arrow to this landmark is wiggly.
Mm-hmm.
The landmarks are the second highest tier of cards that you can play to build your city. They are played within the pre-existing neighborhood cards. A neighborhood can and often will have multiple landmarks. So I'm not taking up this space just for myself. Other people can put landmarks in here too. To visit a new landmark. Take a blank index card and write an L on the top. Well, we're kind of going by colors, but we can also do it that way. I think we're going kind of with colors and shapes for ours.
Yeah, this would be if you were playing with like index cards.
Yeah, the nice little like all white index cards, whereas we have like colors and shapes to help us out a little bit on screen. So it needs a title. Just like a neighborhood, each landmark should have a common name that people call it in their day-to-day lives. I think I'm gonna go with this simple, obvious thing because it's in treble, so it's gonna be. This is dumb. Leave me alone. The treble fountain. I just wanted to make a fountain. That's all. I'm done. Thanks, everyone. So the treble fountain. Remember I said it's like it's kinetic and melodic because it's got moving water and it's got lots of sound and it's got like different stuff. An address, it feels appropriate. This can be a literal address. After all, street names and other tools reveal details about the world, but it could also be something more poetic. Is it like at the heart of the neighborhood, or is it the beaten path? Is it several stories up, or perhaps below street level? Write this landmark's address under the title. So I'm gonna say, I really like the idea of the treble fountain. It has like a lot of different like bits and bobs and pieces, and it's constantly spewing out. I think it's actually like it's still like a water-ish base, but we also talked about how things can be things and other things in this world. So I think it is in itself kind of a fountain of magic, kind of giving off this kinetic melodic magic. So I'm gonna say it's people of Treble can come here almost to be refreshed. Of magic, so I'm gonna say it's the I like that you wrote melodious and kinetic. I don't know if this is gonna fit. Oh, it's too big. I shouldn't have done it.
You stretch it out, it'll fit.
I thought I could. Oh, yeah, right. Good point. We can do that. We can do that. That's right. Cool. Cool.
That's
cool,
why
cool.
the line got wiggly.
Neat. I'll make this. It's a magic melodic kinetic fountain, and it that I don't want to claim it to be like the heart of but it is.
That makes sense to me though. If it's where people come to get replenished,
Yeah.
it's kind of the heart of the neighborhood.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was there first, and the neighborhood kind of built around it.
like that.
Into
There was
it.
all this kinetic and melodious energy there.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. So then a true name. Similar to the neighborhood, each landmark has its own true name. However, this should be even more specific than the true name of your neighborhood. Dang it! How does this landmark exist within the neighborhood? Is it placed inside? Does the landmark match the neighborhood style? Is it push against it? Well, I mean, we kind of already said a little bit what makes it unique, what makes it irreplaceable, what can you touch, smell, taste, imagine the landmark as you consider these questions and let its true name reflect that answer. So I think, like I said, I think it's literally, I like what you said, Janaya, that it literally, like, this fountain was almost here first, and the neighborhood kind of built up around it. So name, what makes it irreplaceable? I mean, it's literally a magic fountain. It's
like a source, isn't it?
yeah, it's the source. of the combination of melodic kinetics. So what would the kinetic be together? It's moving music. It's
Big old ones.
the moving music source. The font of music movement. Just like
You could just call it Le Font.
yeah, it's not bad. Thank you, Derek. In chat, I saw you. That's good. I like that. Okay.
So I think for the first round, we
Yeah.
each have to create either a neighborhood or a landmark.
Says I was going on the wrong part. Yeah, because we don't get the compass until next time.
Yeah.
We don't get our compass yet.
Yeah,
Clockwise,
so
during the first
which...
to pass, every player should add either a neighborhood or a landmark to the city. Okay. So, I mean, Morgan and I went, so Jake, you would logically be next. What would you like to add to our city, Jake?
What's the first thing? Just the first thing's the name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
The title.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make where would I put it coming off of if I make a neighborhood?
You can take
think
any
it's
of
this
the
one.
yeah, take any of the
This
blue
one?
ones, the baby
Okay.
blue. That one's yours now.
So this place will be called Vignette.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And I don't know if that necessarily means like it's a wooded area, but it's a very congested area.
Mm.
And so I guess like its reputation would be it's almost like a commercial market area.
Okay.
Like bustling.
Yeah.
And so, and I like to think like this is where like a lot of these magics sort of come together and like things really start to get a bit wild and unpredictable.
Is it congested in part because things are changing all the time? So you like walk down a thing and you're like, crap, I can't go this way anymore.
Yeah, I think so. Like it's constantly changing and like there's no like big like main way through. It's always like small pathways and there's always people there. I feel like maybe this is a place where a lot of the ghosts in our city
Sure.
reside because it's sort of like this liminal place. And so I should write that down. How do you spell that? Shoot.
Liminal, Liminal, I think.
I don't know. Save me.
Liminal. Yep.
I'm going to Google that word now.
Liminal.
Okay. So yeah, it's like sort of liminal place. Maybe it's always changing. So I think it would be like probably kinetic and brittle.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So what's left there? Let's see. So it's sort of its reputation, its true name.
Yeah, true names I think are the hardest part.
Yeah.
Ghost Central.
Ghost Central,
No,
yeah.
I'm kidding.
Go Central Station.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm joking. Don't do it. For a second, I thought you were writing it.
No,
I
I
was
was.
we were clearly joking.
Let's see. They're like. See, it's like a market. Let's call it. This is like. Sounds like really like. Let's see.
I think what it's trying to suggest is that you want some sort of sensory adjectives
Yeah.
Yeah.
for the true name. So pick a sense and trying to come up with a word that relates to that.
I cheated. I used 2.
I think that still works.
Yeah.
I think you don't have to be too connected to it being super namey either. It could be, just an idea of the feeling that's actually there, but
Okay, yeah.
what's presented.
Okay.
Like breeze on the wind or something like that.
Let's do breaking glass.
Oh,
Let's,
yeah. Any questions?
To
Anyone
add
has
to
about
that?
breaking glass? Yeah. Does anyone have any questions about breaking glass? Do it safely. it's there's sharp edges. Watch out.
Is it a large neighborhood?
I would say like it's not in like actual space it takes up. It's not large, but like there is so much jam packed in it that
Right.
it feels that way. It's like an old house with like a bunch of small rooms. Like
Yeah.
it feels bigger, and then like you look at the lot and it's not that big.
Cool.
Is it Anton's turn?
I think so.
Okay.
You know what you want to do?
Yes, I'm going to create another neighborhood. And I'm going to go with key. Um,
See, I wasn't sure if you were spelling it Quay.
The Quay.
Hey.
Oh, hey, there it is.
Yeah, the Quay.
another pun that I liked because I wanted the docks. I thought I got to have a way of making that musical. So the key.
That's very good.
We literally have a musical area in Toronto called the Key. It's like it has like music themed parks and everything.
Should we get rid of problem? Oh no, problems for the. Never mind. I got it.
It's gonna be a landmark.
Yep.
So, to try and keep it as a sort of different area, I'm going to have it melodious and brittle.
I love it.
Yeah.
So it's sort of dots. And so to go with the sort of brittle nature, I'd think in terms of it's very industrial. From a musical sense, it's lots of percussion. That sort of sound, I think. So percussion. What else am I supposed to cover with this?
Title,
Reputation.
reputation, and then true name.
So reputation. I think again, like the commercial area, it's bustling and busy, but in terms of the sort of industrial aspect, very very down to earth, no nonsense. So.
Now I just have Princess and the Frog in my head.
Specifically, what about it? Music?
Just the music, yeah. Like the opening number. It's kind of like right on the river.
Oh yeah, when they're literally singing about the city. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I mean, there's other stuff in that movie. I was like,
Yeah,
are you?
I mean-
Are you? Sure.
Yeah, that opening jazz number.
True name.
Fox percussion, down to earth, no nonsense. What sense is most no nonsense? Nonsense. It's no sense. Not helping. Hi.
Nonsense free.
So, tingling. What's another word? I wanted something relating to bass, and then at the same time I went
Okay.
Like deep?
percussion in terms of industrial sounds is actually high.
Oh, I
So,
see.
yeah, doesn't work.
Almost like
I was trying to fit two in.
on metal.
Yeah.
So
hence the tingling.
I think
you could have low resonating sounds with like metal and presses and things like that.
Yeah, because tingling to me is
bass.
high, but I think more like low or deep bass or like clanging if you're talking like because now you're making me think of like sheet metal or like
I got resonance.
Oh, resonance.
Except
Okay.
I can't spell resonance.
It was doing an autocorrect for me. I was thinking it, so I don't know.
ANCE.
Ah, yeah. Nance.
There you go.
Awesome.
Tingling resonance.
I feel like
that kind of works, isn't it?
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions about the tingling resonance? Does it rain there a lot? I'm imagining like kind of like dark and broody when you said like
like maybe
like...
part of the tingling. I mean,
yeah.
Could be like metal roofs, on these like factories and docks.
Tin roofs.
Yeah. Does it rain a lot, or is there something always falling? Or
well, if you have rain a lot, and again going with the magical theme, imagine if each raindrop had a spark of magic in it. And you get the tingly sense from each raindrop.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I'm...
Oh my gosh, it's like
Fantasia?
You know how you can get like from smog like acid rain? Like instead of acid rain, it's like magic from
magic rain.
Yeah, magic rain. From
magic
whatever
rain
is being produced at the docks.
Yeah, are the docks
and that
kind of
magic
industrial?
should be purple, so it's purple rain.
Oh no. Are the docks kind of industrial? Sorry.
Yes. So I'm thinking sort of metallic, and a sort of mechanical wharf type.
Any other questions?
Are the docks on a river? Are we on an ocean? Are we on a lake?
I'd say Oceanside. So you've got a horizon, an expanse that it looks out on.
Okay.
Good.
Very cool.
Janaya, I feel like you've already built a neighborhood.
Did you get that idea? Yeah, that's too small. So I want to build the shards.
Ooh.
And the shards are going to be the wrong color. I'll fix that. The shards are going to be this area, like kind of like Skid Row. It's this area towards the edge of town where there are some structures, kind of like shanty structures, kind of built into it. But mostly it's when things have been built and changed enough times. Sometimes they just can't come back together, and all those pieces get swept out into kind of these piles on the edge of town. But there's still usable bits in there. There's still usable bits of magic and components. So sometimes amazing things will just kind of rise out of the shards into existence for a moment and then kind of crash back down.
Ooh. So is it an area kind of like raw magic? Like
It's more like leftover magic.
Yeah. Sorry, you did say that.
Yeah. So it's you know, if people think that the thing is done, like this building is done, it can't possibly hold anything anymore, and it all just gets kind of bulldozed out to the shards, and kind of the less like the outcasts will kind of pick through and build creations out of it within their space. But it also has this great potential to it. Like I think that the underground true name of it is that there's like this amazing hidden treasure and potential in this place. Like it's thought of as the place where you go when you run out of luck, but it's actually this place where there's the greatest potential.
That's neat.
It's a scrap heap challenge.
So I'm gonna put giant piles of shattered city. The Skid Row, shanty towns, and the Forgotten. And then for a true name, I'd like to put in Whispering Treasures. All right, that's my turn.
Awesome.
Start a oh no, we have to name the city. Oh no.
Oh, I didn't. Oh gosh, I was so focused on.
So naming the city, you might have noticed that the rules have not asked you to name the city yet. This is intentional. If after you laid the foundation, you feel you know the city well enough to name it, take a moment and agree on a name and write it in the central index card above the 3 adjectives. If you don't yet have a name for your city, don't worry. You can let it happen. So, does anyone have any ideas yet, or...
No, I don't have anything at the moment.
This doesn't have to be, but I'm almost thinking something Chat, no.
What are they saying?
Bruce. They said this name of the city is Bruce.
City McCity face.
Amazing. I was almost thinking, like, once again, doesn't have to, something like, it made me think of, like, because we have so many, all these different aspects, and a lot of things are, like, blended together and stuff like that. I was always almost thinking, like, some sort of opposite, or, it almost feels like it should have some sort of, like, blend to it, or, you know what I mean? We can keep thinking, but I don't know.
Yeah, I can think of lots of sound blending names, but they're not good names. You know, like the orchestra, boring. The choir, I already did that dialect game. And complex chord seems like not great.
Band,
but like that, I like that idea of like the ways that
Concordance.
Concordance?
I like concordance.
It's not bad. It actually sounds like a city name, but also sounds like it means something.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yes.
I kind of like concordance.
I do too. I think that works.
Yeah, I think that works.
Alright, I'm just gonna copy the traits. It is concordance. It is melodic, kinetic, and brittle. How big is it get if I try and specifically just make this bigger? Is it gonna boop out of the box? Yes. Too big. Well, I tried. Yeah. I think it's just because if you automatically go up, it jumps quite a bit. I think if we physically write in a number, it might. There you go. Ah, there you go. Nice.
Perfect.
Amazing.
And skills.
Yeah. Very good. Okay. Now technically, we start playing the game.
Yes, we're only halfway through already.
All right. Playing the game. Rounds of play.
Basically, it just starts with the compass.
So
Am I going first? I can't tell if I went first last time or not, so I can't. That's my only issue. Sorry, is that?
Oh, right, because I technically went first. Well, I'll read the rounds of play real quick.
Okay.
Just for anyone who hasn't played this before. The basic overview of a round of, I'm sorry, did you say street magic? Is as follows. To begin, one player declares the compass, the theme or subject of exploration for this round of gameplay. This helps set the tone for the round. That player wanders the city, adding a new card, a neighborhood, landmark, or resident to the table. This card reflects the compass in some way. Moving clockwise around the table, each player takes a turn wandering the city, adding a new card of their own to the table. Finally, the player who declared the compass holds an event to close out the round. During an event, each player takes on a voice of the city and offers a perspective on the way the city changes around them. Once the event is finished, the round is over. Players should take a rest stop to check in with each other. When everyone is ready to continue, the next player declares a compass, starting a new round. So cities are dense, packed with stories stacked atop each other. In order to give each round focus, one player chooses a compass to keep the story moving in the same thematic direction, at least until the next round. Anything can be a compass. A neighborhood, a landmark, a resident, an institution, a lineage, an object, a broad theme or concept, as big or as small as you want. A compass can be an idea that already exists in play or something that you make up right on the spot. For the first few compasses of the game, consider building off of ideas that your fellow players have already expressed excitement in, especially ideas not already explored during the foundation. Keep a running list of each round's compass and which player chose it so that everyone can look back at it as your city unfolds. If a player wants to revisit a compass that was already examined, they can always pick the same one again or pick a similar compass that examines that aspect of the city from a slightly different angle.
Yeah.
We
I would say because we really only have time for like one round and then we should do a break.
Yeah.
So I vote that move down. But that doesn't have to be the case.
So Jake,
So I would
does the compass?
declare the compass.
Are you interested in doing the compass? If you aren't, then
Yeah, I can.
only if you want to.
Okay, so it can be anything. Well then,
Yeah. Anything. A neighborhood, a landmark, a resident, institution, a lineage, an object,
So
a broad concept or theme.
okay. Well, let's do the public transit.
I love that. Yeah. Heck yeah. Tell us how public transit is super good or bad here.
So yeah, who knows?
Yeah. I gotta super interested in magical public transit.
Yes.
There was like a tweet going around for a little while where people were sharing like public transit in Japan and everyone was like, that's amazing. And they're like, this is just regular transit here.
Right.
Like
yeah, it's like this is if you don't put all of your money into things you shouldn't have and
Yep.
invest in infrastructure.
Yeah.
Do we want to make it a
Weird.
separate type of bubble coming off of concordance?
Well, then it once you declare the compass, you can then kind of do anything.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, once the compass is declared, then Jake goes and picks.
I wander the
does
city.
his turn.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So I either explore a neighborhood, visit a landmark, or meet a resident.
And I mean, we have a lot of neighborhoods right now, so it might be cool if you did a landmark or a resident. But do whatever you feel. If you have an idea for a...
So a resident is always associated with a landmark.
Yeah, that's my only issue is we can't do a lot of... We only have one landmark.
So then we need to add more landmarks.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then,
Give us a landmark, Jake.
so like, what if we add like the shorts? What if we add like a station? I don't know what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Briar.
Yeah, like Briars. Is that what it'd be? A Briar's thicket is Bramble, maybe?
I like that.
I like that, because there's also like a
twist and like... Yeah, okay.
it makes me think of like rolling. I don't know.
Yeah. Like I'd imagine like vines and thorns curled up on each other.
Well, it kind of makes me think of like the public transit system in Robots, if you've seen that movie.
It's been so long, but
it's like
please
they're
refresh
in like
my memory.
Balls like kind of like shoot all across the city in like different tracks, but then they also get just flung.
That's amazing.
Yep.
An address, a true name. So the address would obviously be in the thicket, but just wherever it needs to be.
So Bramble Station is in the thicket, and it's kind of like all over the place. And also the thicket is known for being like congested.
Yeah, so like maybe it's under the thicket.
Interesting.
But just, like, so yeah, maybe it's like a subway, or maybe
if it's wherever it needs to be.
The thicket is
like
constantly changing.
Yeah, it's like you need to get somewhere in the city. You just like, it's like you just imagine it and you walk into a door and like you're packed in like a subway car with a bunch of other people need to go where they need to go, or maybe it's like a portal. I don't know.
Janai, did you have an idea? I just thought I saw you get like wide-eyed for a second.
Oh well, when you were talking about the thicket and it being underground, maybe it's like the thicket's like plants. Maybe it's like roots
the
that
root
go
system.
underneath. Like it's this root system that kind of interconnects.
Oh, I really like that. Yeah.
Ooh, when wherever it needs to be, but not necessarily when. So do you just like wait? Do you just like wait in the bramble?
Oh, I'm getting flashbacks to the ACE.
Or
I got stuck in the bramble again. Like, is it literally like thicket bramble? You have to like, you always go to where you want to go to. Like, you open it up and you always go where you want to go to. But like, not necessarily. Like, sometimes you're stuck in the bramble for a real long time.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, oh, I got stuck in the bramble again. Like,
yeah, like,
it's a common vernacular.
Yeah, you know how it is.
That's so good.
Oh man, the bramble didn't let me out for 20 minutes. I love that. That's so much fun.
Yeah, maybe, and it's like the root system, but like your weight is just shifting always. So you just sort of like, you're waiting for your opportunity to, find your way through.
Man, the chorus line on the bramble was so congested yesterday.
Yes, that's great.
I love it. Okay. And then true title is the last thing?
True title.
Oh, goodness. Pardon me.
Patchwork. Thorn in what? Thorn in paw. Oh my god, so good. God, how dare you? That's amazing. That is magical. Okay. Do we have any more questions about Bramble?
So wait, have we decided that the Bramble is the public transit system, or is it just
is it like, so I guess I didn't think about that. Is it like the Bramble and like there's just different stations? Like there's let's actually
I was thinking that it's having the perhaps having the public transport theme being associated with the neighborhood.
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
It's all part of the same system, but the public transport in the thicket is the Bramble, and I'm going to play on that in a minute.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we'll just keep it with the bramble. It's not necessarily a station because it's not as
Sure.
predictable as a station, even though that's relative.
Well, and since the thicket is so kinetic but also brittle and is constantly changing, totally makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Was there anything else for the thicket? For the bramble?
I think that's really good.
Okay.
What we came
Anton,
up
I
with.
feel like you were gonna take us to the key next. Am I?
Actually,
am
looks
I...
like he's going to trouble.
I'm going to
Ah.
trouble.
Oh, Oh, I didn't even see that. Yeah. Oh my god, I love everyone's
Yeah.
mouse just
I'm
going
gonna
around.
move up the thickness of that line. There we go.
So again, I'm going to add another station, but in treble. And this part of me is going to be very boring and just call it Fountain Station. Unless anybody can think of a better title for it. But we'll go with that for now. And its address being around the fountain. Apparently I can't spell. There we go. And so the idea I have for this, whereas in the thicket you're sort of in the brambles, in treble, you sort of weave the magic of the fountain in a sort of water bending style. So, and so it's a sort of interpretive dance type thing where you're water bending with this magic from the fountain in a dance, and that enables you to transport yourself to where you need to go. And whether that's you or street performers doing that.
Oh, 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 oh. Like there's like it's like oh gosh, sorry. The public transportation staff is always just waiting there to dance with you.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yes.
Like
It turns into a musical number every time you need to get
have
somewhere.
To do a musical number.
And that's why
like,
it's trouble to be in
welcome,
treble. You have to do a dance to get everywhere.
You're like, gosh, I don't feel like it today. Oh, that's terrible. You have to like do this like you full on singing in the rain style, like jump on the fountain and do like a whole number and like
Yes. So of course this is street magic.
I'm sorry, did you say street magic?
I'm sorry, but did you say street magic?
Right. Street performers interpretive dance. I'm just gonna add water bending for want of a better descriptor. True name. What better? Singing in the rain.
Yeah.
Morgan is pleased.
Excited to see
Um,
residents.
Yeah. Okay, that'll do for me. Unless anybody's got any questions.
I'm good.
Okay.
I would like to add a resident to Fountain Station. Her name is Abigail Sinclair. And she came from very far away on a bus with a big dream,
Oh my gosh.
came to Treble and auditioned and eventually ran out of money. And now she works dancing with people at Fountain Station, hoping someday that
too
someone
real.
is going to see all of her potential.
Oh, it's too real. It's so good.
I love it.
And I know there's something else I'm supposed to do for a resident.
Pronouns and a true name.
Abigail's pronouns are she, her.
Oh, and title.
Her true name, I mean, obviously her true name is going to be a girl with a dream.
Yes.
Oh, we got to do a vignette.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Hold on.
Shall I read this bit out? So, framing a vignette. A vignette is a brief glimpse into a resident's daily life. To begin a vignette, the current player decides where the scene takes place. The location should be connected in some way to the landmark where the resident is nested. When in doubt, setting the vignette at the landmark itself is always a safe bet. The current player embodies the resident. The other players play various aspects of the setting: the weather, the music, local flora and fauna, sights, smells, tastes, the passage of time, or other characters in the scene. The player embodying the resident may make broad scene requests of their co-players. For example, could somebody play one of my family members, or let's frame this as a montage, etc., etc. The current player begins by describing the resident's interior thoughts and actions. Other players respond, freeform, engaging in loose and improvised conversation, describe sensory details as well as the resident's desires, beliefs, and appearance. Feel free to speak both in and out of character. Narrate the character's actions or say things that they would say in their own voice. A vignette should portray the resident in their element. This is a snapshot of a moment when this character is truly unequivocally themselves. Spotlight their strengths, skills, and shortcomings. What unique spark does this resident bring to the city that nobody else can offer? The scene is over when the current player knows the resident's true name in its entirety. Write the facets of their true name on the card. Place the card so that, yeah.
Okay.
I almost feel like we kind of did that.
True name. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of see her coming off the bus. I guess the only thing I could say is that like we could do a quick thing of, you know, Abigail's waiting for someone to come up, and if somebody wants to be a super grumpy just trying to get somewhere customer, that would be kind of fun. Anyone?
Yeah, I'm looking to get to the key.
The key. Yes. Well, what part of the key? Because there are parts of the key that just, you know, that are truly special. Like, do you just want to go to you don't just want to go to the main part of the key. Maybe you want to go to like like, oh, that area where the ghosts hang out under the moon. And Abigail starts to kind of like sway and do like these very kind of Martha Grammy sort of steps. We could do, come on, just stretch.
Just like very okay.
And then you reach, and like she does like this, like leads the customer through this dance, and like she's really nervous as she looks at his kind of like grumpy face, but then she just gets lost in it and takes it way too far. And then I think you hear her boss yell, Abigail. That's the end of the scene.
Cut scene.
Aww.
Oh, bless her.
That was precious Abigail.
All right.
Yes.
My
turn. All right, there's cars rooming. I don't know if you can hear real loud. But oh no. Okay. Oh no. I wanna. I think I'm gonna go to the shards. Copy a link. Put it here. Just cheat. Copy an arrow. Put it here.
Do it.
Wink. Bonk. I like when the arrows get all curvy. I'm gonna ramp. It's better that way. I don't want to straight and arrow. Okay.
I will purposefully curve some of these arrows then.
Too many straight arrows. I gotta make some curvy ones. Like that. I don't know what it's called yet. I'm trying to think of I'm like starting to process, so I guess I'll just like speak it out, and then if anyone has an idea, they can like throw it out with me. But landmark, we're doing public transportation, we're doing the shards, and I think that for the shards, like with other aspects of the shards, it's kind of leftovers. So there's almost like maybe transportation like crystals, and like maybe there are like somewhere in the world there's like it's a very efficient form of travel to like have these crystals and maybe just like crack them and then like it takes you where you want to go, but there's only leftover pieces of the shards, so it's kind of like a gamble.
Like you could end up anywhere.
You could, yeah, you could.
I like that.
What about the coda?
The coda?
Because it has the potential of repeating. So playing until the coda here, it's a musical term. Let me look up the proper.
Okay, I don't know it then. You're gonna have to.
The concluding passage.
I'm into it. I just like need to.
Yeah, the concluding passage of a piece or movement, typically forming an addition to the basic structure. So it's like the conclusion. CODA.
Ah, okay.
So if you had a piece of music that was a series of verses, a coda would be a standalone section that's played at the very end of the piece.
Okay. So I'm putting crystal travel, but only the leftovers. And oh no, I made another arrow. That's not what I meant to do. No,
it's very easy to do.
This is actually a very intuitive system, and I really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. See. Ta-da!
I just double tapped and then it was there.
Okay,
whoopsies.
The arrow can go away. I was trying to pull this down. Go to crystal travel, but only the leftovers. But because I mean, there was I still really like what Janai you were saying about like their whispering treasures. So there is like good stuff to be had here. I think of how it works. Maybe there's people here who like it almost shouldn't be possible, but there are people here who know how to put the crystals back together. Just like they're so skilled and they've spent so much time here and they've spent so much time just like hands-on with the materials in the shards, and they know like, and it maybe one of these like alternate ones aren't even they don't even look like their original form anymore. They require new things that you can only get in the shards. You know, like they form into something like new. They farm. They from nope. This is so many form into something new. Oh, an address. Doing this. No. Yeah, landmark needs an address. Okay. Dakota. Travel address is.
I mean, the address can be something abstract.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of.
So, it is the address for these or the crystals.
The address is actually just fudge. I had something and I lost it. It was something like crafting. The address is because it's made. It's
forged, welded.
Yeah, maybe forged.
Blown. Like how you blow glass.
Yeah. Maybe that'll be in the proper name for it though.
Oh, I think in glasswork there's a thing called like candle working, where you use the glass to kind of stretch it out. It's like how they make those little glass unicorn kind of things as well, and you can use that to stick pieces together.
Ah.
It's a form of welding, really.
I'm gonna put gosh, it seems it doesn't like it like that now. That's how it is. That's it. Candlework Creations. That's what it is.
Nice.
So, Morgan, last of the round. What are you gonna do? Where are you gonna take us? Where are we going?
I'm gonna go over to the thicket and into the bramble and introduce you all to Tama Breyer, who is the ghost cat station master of the bramble.
Yeah.
And they were formerly someone's familiar.
They like a bodega cat?
Kind of, yeah. Why? There we go. And are able to speak, so they can help people who get lost on the bramble.
Are they actually helpful, or are they
like talking riddles?
Sarcastically helpful? Like, oh, look at you, lost again? Still
like the Cheshire Cat.
I kind of like it being like actually helpful.
Okay.
But if someone's done it like 5 times, they're like, really?
The sarcastic cat.
Yeah. Sarcastic cat, but only when called for. Yeah, like Tama is the title, and then Briar. I think they're a calico. Yeah. Trying to think of anything else. I just had this image after us discussing the Bramble of there's that cat in Japan who is the station master at one of the train stations. And I'm like, oh, but what if it was a ghost? Because it's all like ghosts in the thicket. And then they can actually like travel all along the Bramble without issue because they're a ghost. So they can just go randomly help people if people need help.
So we do a vignette.
Yeah. How do you do a vignette with this? So I guess someone would need to maybe be someone who's lost.
There is a variant rule whereby if we want to have it go a bit faster, we can just describe rather than doing a full vignette.
What was that?
If you wanted to just describe a scene instead of, or did you wanna RP one?
Um,
Do you want to be a bodega cat? Do you wanna...
no, I'm okay actually.
Everybody wants to be a cat.
I think it's kind of a common scene that if it's someone's first time on the Bramble, Tama Briar will just kind of be by their side the entire time. And just kind of walking them through it. And maybe eventually there are more ghost cats like get trained in as Tamas that can also like help people with figuring out the system. But I kind of like breeze along the vines.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So many of these are just pinging off different songs in my head. So this one is, I heard it through the bramble.
It's taking all of my willpower to not straighten out this line because just every
it's the Bramble. It's definitely wibbled.
I know, it's fine.
Breeze along
Wibbly
the vines
wobbly.
is very good. I like it. Okay. And on that note, we have done our first full official round. And we're gonna go away to a break. Y'all should do the same. Get up and do a stretch and hydrate and all that good stuff. We'll be back in a few for more of this awesome game. I'm sorry? Did you say Street Magic? Yeah, so whoop. I smacked my water bottle. See you in a few, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us.
2, 1.
You almost got it exactly. We're live. Welcome back for more Street Magic.
I'm sorry. Did you say street magic?
I was waiting for anyone to do it. So we finished off our first full round after the foundational round that we did. So now we get to do an event.
Okay, so should I describe an event for like?
Well, it has to be related to the compass that we said at the beginning of the round. It's always connected to either a neighborhood, a landmark, or a resident. And you just describe the event in a sentence or two.
Changes or alters the city.
I want to do something with. I think it would be cool to do something with the shards, but also I already have an idea for the Bramble.
Do what you feel in your heart.
I don't know. See,
Did
alright,
you
this
say I
one's-
don't have a heart?
No, I said I don't know.
Amazing.
You know it to be true.
Yeah. Look into your.
So let's say this will just be the event. The bramble has shut down.
Oh no! So
Or
it's just
ground-
like
it's come to a halt. It's like, the subway. But maybe not ended, but it's it has
Something is
stopped for a while. Down for
Interrupted.
maintenance.
is the maintenance known, or is it like
Oh, that's just like what they say when like they don't know
they don't
what's
know?
up.
Coming at the
Ghosts are gonna
MTA.
strike
Holy
again.
cow.
The ghosts
it
have gone on
just-
strike again.
Is it locked up? Like when you go to it and try to move your way
Yeah, just-
through, does it just not?
Yeah, not budge. Like not like.
Or like, I mean, what happens if you try to use it?
Yeah, so let's say like, yeah, people can't like really seem to get through. Like they just like go in one part of the bramble and like come out another part just still in the thicket, or like, maybe some people are stuck on the bramble for a bit. That sort of thing.
Do we want to do a separate type of shape for
An event?
an
Yeah,
event? Maybe a
yeah.
triangle?
Different color?
Getting fancy.
Give fancy.
Yellow, yeah. Like
So everyone else that you make the event, and then everyone else gets to be the voice of the city. Ask questions, state opinion, show consequence. And the person who started the event gets to be the final voice of the city. Excuse me, cat. Cat, when is this gonna be fixed? Cat, excuse me.
Meow.
does the cat
just wanted to
meow
talk
when
to the
it
cat.
doesn't want to answer?
100%. 100%.
The cat can speak flawlessly, but the cat just like when it deals with people it doesn't like, it just
Yeah.
meows.
Yeah.
That's fabulous.
How do I change that one?
Grumble,
Yeah, that was
grumble,
just hard to
grumble.
read against the yellow.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, the black writing on the yellow makes a lot more sense.
Meow, 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 meow.
That's it. That's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to yell at the cat. I'm sorry. Excuse me, cat. Like this is a totally normal thing. Go and talk to the station cat.
Look, I don't know what's going on, so everything will be fine in half an hour. And just ghosts out.
Just like disappears.
Yeah.
Oh, to be a ghost cat, man.
Uh-huh. I'm a fan of the concept.
I feel like I already asked my question, which is what happens when you try to go through it.
Oh yeah. So yeah. So there's also you can state an opinion or show a consequence.
Yes. Tell us.
I just feel like doing the old gentleman of this is absolutely preposterous.
Mhm.
There you go.
Everyone's Everyone's rooted the Bramble. Wow.
It's like the end of the
What do you
day.
expect
Everyone's
about a
trying to
place
get
called the
home.
Bramble?
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
nice
Get
people
in
in the
the thicket.
Bramble.
A congested commercial market area
Oh,
full
sad.
of ghosts.
I guess
You know,
so.
someone's got to be thrilled to be like surrounded by ghosts in like a bustling
100%.
city.
100%.
Are the ghost
It would be me.
trolls?
Are the ghosts
They-
what?
Trolls. So they like
Yeah.
going around annoying people.
I don't think so. I don't want that.
Yeah, I think they just have their own business that they're attending.
Yeah, like
to.
they're just attending business like anybody else. They
Mm-hmm.
just can navigate the Bramble a little better because it's like it's more comprehensible to them. So then I finish it by doing one of these things, stating an opinion, showing a consequence.
I think all of us are supposed to.
Do you have one, Morgan?
Tama is annoyed anytime this happens because they're like, I'm a ghost cat. I can't do anything about this. And they're constantly getting yelled at unruly patrons whenever it happens. So they are annoyed every time the Bramble is interrupted.
Okay. So, Jake?
So,
Yeah, completing the event is just you get to be the last voice of the city. You have the last word on the event, as well as on the round's compass. If you have any final notes on
okay.
on public transportation in our city.
Isn't there altering the city too?
Is there No, it's that I don't think that's its own thing. I think it's talking about like
That's a
if
whole
it does,
different
got
thing.
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
When changing the city, never destroy or completely remove cards from play. Big note in that one. And completing an event. Events are never a monolith. No one singular perspective.
Oh, there's so many shapes.
Don't get distracted by the shapes.
So I think this will just be like, two people stuck in a car or something. Or not really a car, but they're stuck in the Bramble together. They're both going to the same place by chance. And then it's typical. They're like, I guess this is why they call it a thorn in the paw. And it's like, should have taken the code is more reliable than this.
Ouch, that's an insult to the Bramble.
And then they go about their day. This is easily twice a week occurrence. It's just like
So we've made the MTA.
Yeah. Legally distinct magic MTA.
It's the MTA, meaning Magic Transit Authority.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Where do I mark this?
I love that.
So now I suggest we take a rest stop. We did just take a big break though. So, does anyone? Everyone just take a second, do a stretch.
Okay.
Put your hands up.
Rest stops can also be used as a sort of check-in.
How's everyone feeling?
Overall thoughts on everything. And
I like our
overall
city.
thoughts.
That's my
love
thought.
it.
Yeah.
This is
I want to make a
lot of
Pinterest
fun.
board for our city.
You're right.
I want to make an Invisible Sun campaign for our city.
Oh dang!
Yeah.
I could so see Invisible Sun in this city.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Awesome. Goodness. The only thing.
So you've got a new channel series now.
See, I love games like this that like they're a game in and of themselves, but also they inspire you to like you're like I want to run a whole nother game in this game.
Yeah.
Like I love games that do that, world building games and stuff like this. Ugh, so good. So good.
Cool.
Okay. If we're all good with our rest stop, it's time for another compass.
Is it me?
Point us, Anton. Where are we going?
So, this is a more abstract theme, but I'm going to go with light.
Light?
Interesting.
Light. Take that in a broad sense.
It's
I'm
already
going to
very
be
big.
I'm going to be literal in a minute. But you don't have to take literally light. You can do it as in light and airy, or take it how you will. Okay?
Mhm.
But it's light. So
I had a feeling.
my first one is I'm going to add a landmark to the key, and is a lighthouse.
Ooh.
Yes, I did make a compass solely so that I could have add a lighthouse to
Valid.
the key. But it's not just a lighthouse light. Akin to the fountain in the treble, it is also a source of magic. And there's a game that I played recently that had a lighthouse in it, but where the function of the lighthouse also had associated sound to it. It was a sort of broad ambient sound, which I'm not going to attempt to replicate. You'll be pleased to know.
I thought you were gonna say it's like a foghorn. I was concerned.
No, not a foghorn. A sort of broad. Yes, exactly that. Exactly that. And the tonal quality of the sound changes depending on where the light is facing. And the sort of resonance of it is associated with the amount of power. So it pulses. And so at certain times of day or seasons or something, it has more power. And you can feel that, and you also get that from the resonance and the tonal quality of it. And then we need a true name for it. Wawa.
I have to say, I was not expecting that.
I was not expecting that either, but I like it.
That's amazing.
Wawa.
Wawa. Sorry.
Wawa.
Wawa. Is it 'cause is Wawa the sound it makes?
Well, I mean, Wawa is a specific type of guitar effect,
Oh yeah,
an electric guitar.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So is it related to that, like the music, the sound of
Kind
it?
of, yeah. I mean, the pulsing sound of the lighthouse is not that fast, but it has that sort of effect to it, I reckon.
So truly,
Just
this
very
this
slowly.
lighthouse just wants to rock out.
Yeah, that's a musical city.
It is. It's a very musical. But okay, cool beans. Any other questions for the lighthouse?
I guess
No
I'm
questions?
curious, like a lighthouse, does it send out power far away? Like, or is it pretty localized, you know, or can the beam go farther across the city kind of thing? Like,
So the light beam is like a standard lighthouse, but the power from it, I think of like an electricity pylon. I'm assuming electricity pylons are universal.
Maybe.
Describe one.
Yeah,
and
tell
we'll
us
say
more about
yes.
this electricity
okay.
pylon.
So it's like the long distance power line.
Yeah, you know your overhead power lines, and you have the tall structures,
Like the wooden ones or the big metal ones, or like
big metal ones.
okay.
And
I don't think I've ever heard a name for those, actually.
Yeah, me neither. So
Yeah.
right.
okay.
Well, my other thought was, does other countries actually have overhead pylons? I don't know.
Tons. It's awful.
I'm googling this right now.
It's spelled Pylon.
Yeah. So it's spelled the same as like pylon. Oh, okay, yeah, that's exactly what I thought it was. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't know that that's what those were called. Oh, they're called transmission towers here, or something.
Right. We call them pylons.
Okay. That makes sense.
The beauty of different cultures. So if you get close to those, in real life, you can actually hear the sort of thrumming that they make.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of that in terms of the lighthouse. Also, interesting experiment. If you wander around with a fluorescent light bulb around those overhead cables, it will light according to where it is in the electricity flow lines around the cable, even if it's not connected. And so hence that idea of if there's power sort of in the air around this lighthouse in that sort of sense. And so somebody who is attuned to that magic can weave it off in the local area.
Cool.
Neat. Like it. And I learned something new today. Thank you.
Yeah. Had no idea those had a name.
Yeah, me
100%.
neither. I've literally talked about those structures with people before, and none of us knew what they were called, so it's great. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Or
Good.
should we move on?
Playing too much with the boxes and making the arrows funny shapes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Cool.
Then I'm going to make a
Janaya.
landmark in the shards,
Ooh.
and it's going to be
Ooh.
called the Glimmer.
Mm.
Very
And
interested.
the Glimmer is an underground speakeasy club.
Oh,
Ooh.
So cool.
Mostly populated by ghosts, which is what gives it its name. The ghosts have kind of this vague ethereal light that they give off. And so when they gather together in this kind of underground, under the piles of shards club, you can see the glow just a little bit. So you kind of go to find it, you go to the darkest part of the shards and then look and see if you can see which pile is glowing and then head towards that and try to find the secret entrance.
that's so cool. I want to go to this
So
actual ghost speakeasy bar.
And so that I think it's the address is hidden in a pile of shards. And the description is just, speakeasy, mostly of ghosts. But I feel like other people go there to do business. Like it's a place where you go to meet when you're doing the things that kind of make the work in what is it, the thicket run, but you can't abide by the rules of the thicket. Like this is kind of the underground engine that keeps things going. So I think its true name is the thicket underground, or under the thicket.
Ooh.
Or under thicket. Yeah, under thicket. There we go.
That.
Cool.
But yeah, I think that once you get inside, it's just, you walk through and you see these light glimmers, and then you get inside and it's just like this burst of sound and magic and performance and amazingness.
See, that's where the off Broadway stuff is.
It's like where the cool circus performers and contortionists go.
Yep, 100%.
Cool. So are there any more questions?
So you said mostly ghosts. So do you have to come with a ghost friend if you're not a ghost?
I think you don't have to have a ghost friend with you, but the ghosts are pretty clear on where it is. And the non-ghosts really have to do this thing. Like having a ghost with you is like being in the know. It's like having the ticket to the underground party, but you can still go and try and hunt it down and just wander into it. They're not going to stop you. It's very open.
Does it move?
Yeah. If you find it once, you go back to that same spot and you're like, I swear it was right here, but it looks exactly the same. So you must be wrong. Like you must be wrong about where you thought it was.
Amazing.
I love it.
Any other questions?
No, I'm just super into it.
Okay. I think it's my turn then.
Yeah.
Okay, if it's my... I like zooming in and out of our thing so that we can see like how big it's
Yeah,
gotten.
it looks so cool.
Look at our city getting all like cool. Look at it getting all cool, doing stuff. Going over here, and I'm gonna boop. I'm gonna make a resident over by the lighthouse. Can I? There. Oh, but the arrow is all thinny.
I'll get it.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So my resident. So first we do a title. It's just like their straight up their name. I'm gonna say their name is Savoy. And their pronouns. I wish there was like past participle pronouns because they're
I forgot to give
ghosts.
Tom.
Oh yeah.
I wish there was like formerly. But I'm gonna go with he/him. He/him, Savoy. And
He'd and him.
he was. Were are his past tense pronouns.
Do they maybe start going with Li Lao?
What's that?
Like old...
The and thou.
Oh, the
Yeah.
thou. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. I like that. Okay.
just using an older form.
Yeah. Nice.
Very
Love
cool.
it. Our ghost residents serve alternative acknowledgements. And so title, common name, pronoun, describe them briefly. Okay, so Savoy is, I mean, everyone knows him. He's always, like, not haunting, but, like, kind of haunting the lighthouse. But from outside of it, because Savoy is in love with the lighthouse. Thou loves the light of the lighthouse, the pulsing of the lighthouse, the sound of the lighthouse. They love it.
We could also just change straight back to he, him, because that might be easier.
Well, I'm kind of committed. I really like it. That's not what I'm struggling with. I'm like struggling with other words.
Got it.
So hang on, let me put the note. In love with lighthouse. They are famous for roaming around outside the lighthouse and singing back to it. It's like its own songs. And yeah, so I think that's kind of Savoy, and their true name is,
I think you're allowed to do the vignette to discover the true name.
Oh,
if you're
really?
yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So a brief glimpse into the daily life to begin the vignette. The current player decides the place.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
I'm trying to be a ghost in love with light and sound. I never tire of you. I'm like, whoa, indeed.
You get me.
And I think you literally see the go up and like put their face on the lighthouse because there's a physical form to the lighthouse, and like literally look up at it with like so much love in these eyes. And I'm gonna say these true name is Song of Light.
Does Savoy
Speak
change
lighthouse.
in the amount that they glow in accordance with the
definitely
pulsing of the lighthouse?
Definitely, you definitely see Savoy's like self. I think they definitely try to complement. I think they do a mix, honestly. I think the do a mix of like kind of sometimes they try and go in conjunction with the lighthouse, and sometimes they try and do the opposite to like do a complimentary thing. I think they just love spending time with the lighthouse. That's right, I did it. I mean, Ghost in love with light and sound. Done. That's a famous resident in our city.
We man, I have no ideas for this one, to be honest. I'm gonna move you out of the way over here and make your line make more sense.
Wow.
I love that line. I know you didn't mean to do it, but it's
don't
so
change it.
squiggly.
Oh,
Because
man.
I'm gonna.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I
so
think-
squiggly.
The big thing that we're missing is a residential area.
Mm-hmm.
It has to
Dark
do
is
with light somehow. Maybe it's like the nice part of town.
Yeah.
Like everything feels lighter when you're there. It's kind of airy.
Maybe it's in there.
Ooh. Something.
It's floating. It's a floating neighborhood.
So it's like light in weight.
Yeah. Yep. You have to come up with a name for it. Looking all around my room for inspiration.
Cloud City. Wait, no, that's a thing. Ooh,
Yep.
what?
What about the chandelier? Because it's glass and it's up in the sky and it's
Love it.
light.
Oh.
That is so cool.
good.
What just happened? Stop it.
That's so good. I love that. I love when
and I
someone
think-
has a good idea.
I think this is kind of all three. Because it's, a residential area. So it's bringing all of the people and all of the different energies together in harmony. Floating glass residential area. Most of the buildings are maybe made out of crystal. Although not see-through. Hopefully, for the most part, you can have like windows, but
Those that live in the chandelier shouldn't throw stones.
yeah. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, you can have opaque crystal.
I can spell today. Balanced above for a journey, maybe. Since a balance of all of the different energies and magic throughout the city. While
So harmony.
maintaining the height.
Harmony?
Yeah. Heck. Out of habit.
I'm wondering
Harmony
what it
above.
sounds like there.
Yeah. Is it kind of like soft piano music? Or is it like the sound of like the glass crystals when you do the water?
The crystal glasses when you put your hand on like the rim of them, or it's the
It's a
sound of
bunch of people
someone
going ding, 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 ding.
at a wedding. It's the sound of someone raising their glass in a toast. You were saying something about a piano, and I was.
Oh no! So like when there's the cups of water and glasses, and you can put your ring around it and have it hum. It's kind of
I
like
was trying to do it with my mug, but it doesn't work.
Oh. I don't think it works with
I don't
most
think I've ever
things.
gotten it to work.
I've managed to do it. It's quite an eerie sound.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to see if I can find a glass now, just to demonstrate.
There we go. Figured something out. Plus, I used that point. It was driving me crazy that we didn't have something going off that point.
I appreciate your design sense.
Uh-huh. It's the stage manager of needing order. Yeah. So, Jake.
Jake's turn.
Oh shoot, which one?
Can I just say I'm shocked by like every time I look at the clock, I'm like, oh my goodness, so much time has gone by. Like I'm like really enjoying this game.
Oh.
Can't believe we've been playing for 2.5 hours.
2 hours 45 almost.
That's the problem with doing these games in a single session.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a resident. My name is
Ooh.
Mary. They're sort of the black sheep of a like trouble child of sort of like a prominent mage family that uses light magic. And so they can often be found around the Glimmer. And down on their luck. But not really, because they're from like a prominent family, so just whatever you would call that. And yeah, they hang out there. I'm trying to like, oh gosh, no. Okay. But let's see. More descriptors. Title pronouns. Oh. So I guess to do a vignette, they're just I can just describe it, right?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So they just hang around the Glimmer. A lot, you know, they're trying to talk to people, but like people know they're not really like they don't hold the same power their family does, and so they're always asking people, or he's always asking people, kind of late. That's his sort of like he's just hey, got a light, hey, help me out, got a light, and he's trying to get some of that magic back, trying to make his dad proud, sort of thing, and so yeah.
So he's not a ghost, right? But he hangs out
No,
mostly at the Glimmer.
He hangs out at the Glimmer because
It's
he
the cool
doesn't
spot.
like probably the rest of his family lives in the Chandelier, and like gets plenty of light, and so they're like magic is pretty powerful, but he's kind of been disowned and away from that, and so he'll get a little bit of light where he can, and finds company where he can.
That's awesome.
Cool.
So bad.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring down the
No,
mood.
it's okay.
You're good.
So wait, is light the magic? Like the light? Like he actually wants. And is it like
Like-
coming from the ghost? Do the ghosts all naturally have it since we've said that they can like give off light?
Oh.
Yeah, maybe they can give off light. Maybe everybody like can use light power because like the lighthouse emits light, and there's some sort of magic in that. But I'm not quite sure. He's just maybe that's why he's hanging out with ghosts a lot, because they sort of emit their own light. And there's a magic in that, and he kind of doesn't have much magic anymore, and so.
Oh.
But he's has found his people in the Glimmer still, I feel like.
I like it. Awesome.
Ooh,
So now
another event.
it's time for an event.
Okay.
Tell us about this light event.
Let me just copy this.
What did we end up? We ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4 residents. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Here, I'll
5,
delete
6,
our wiggly boy.
6 landmarks and 5 neighborhoods. Ooh. That's gonna happen
What is
over
this?
here.
Ooh.
Ooh.
There we go. That's what the event is called.
Oh. What does that mean?
What does
What,
it
harmonic resonance?
What does that even mean?
So the thrum of the lighthouse grows and reaches a peak, and it causes a sound, or the sound of the lighthouse itself, to resonate throughout the entire city. So the whole city now has a natural tone to it. It's sort of singing. What other things am I supposed to describe about this event?
I think then it's just
I think that's
open
probably
to
good.
the
Yeah.
voice of the city, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
As if this is...
city starts singing.
Can I?
Go.
There you go.
Do it.
Savoy definitely thinks it's for thee. Savoy is like, all this time I've been singing for you, and now
It's for thine own heart that the city doth sing.
yeah. Savoy definitely thinks Lighthouse is like responding to all their affection all this time.
Cool.
I think that the residents of the chandelier have gotten together and are holding a meeting to try to move the chandelier away from this ridiculous noise.
Oh my
100%.
gosh.
100%.
Amazing.
Like it's starting to interfere with the delicate balance of their harmony.
Yeah. Oh man.
And it's not really, but like
The resonance isn't harmonizing with our sound.
yeah.
Rude.
That's more of a, a minor resonance instead of like a major resonance.
Me.
The minor resonance is not pleasing the major residents.
Ha! Oof. Ouch.
Yep.
Oof and ouch.
I think the treble district is having some issues because they had so many different tones within the district because of, all the different type of performances there that they're like having to adjust how they deal with outside tone coming into the different houses. And so all of the theaters are having to adjust their sound dampening.
I'd imagine in the shards, you've got all these sort of broken crystalline structures that are just vibrating just off the ground. Cool.
Nice.
Okay. So yeah, this is the city. So how does this like I'll ask a question. How does this sound like affect the bramble? How does it, with it being like already a noisy place, do they respond well to it? Ambivalent? Do they? I guess rather the thicket, not the bramble.
Yeah. I think of it in a way that they're already so busy and noisy that everybody's sort of on the clock, as it were, and they just don't stop to listen. So there's this sort of beautiful harmonizing resonant sound that they just don't notice because they're too much on schedule.
Like, I don't know what the people in the chandelier are going on about. We've got things to do.
Yeah.
The bramble's behind again.
Amazing.
It's sort of in the same way. If you go to a major city, you don't stop to look at the sky or look at the trees in the park. You're always trying to get from A to B, so you just don't notice.
My favorite part is to look up.
So yeah, that's the idea there.
Cool.
The final.
And I've got to complete the event.
Yeah, you've got to complete the event.
The final.
Take us
thing.
away.
Wrap it all up.
Yep, give us a nice, happy conclusion. Good luck. I'm kidding. It's not on you.
Uh, Let me just read this again. So, should end the event by writing a second perspective on the back of the tinted card. Should complicate it. So, I suppose, although it's a sort of harmonic resonance, and the city itself is singing, as it were, it has generated discordance in the city of concordance.
Discordance and concordance.
Maybe made it a little more brittle than it was before.
Yes.
It made the relationships between the neighborhoods more brittle.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
like it. Amazing.
What's that?
That's that. So with that event,
I got no more to add.
yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's good enough. So with that, we're gonna wrap it up for now. This is our whole entire city. I love it. I love it. Oh, we're being rated as we're like ending. Hi, welcome.
Hello.
Well, you can see the final
Look.
view of our city.
That's our
Welcome.
city.
Welcome, friends. Welcome to our city. Guess what it has in it? Street magic.
I'm sorry. Did you say street magic?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Did you say?
Did you say street magic?
You guys, I lost count at like 15.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did you say street magic?
Guess what I did? Hi, for anyone that's just joining us now, you're catching us at the end, but we're gonna do little epilogues. I think we're gonna go around and ask everyone a little bit about this city we created. So we have been playing, I'm sorry, did you say street magic? In case you didn't get that the other half a dozen times we said it. Welcome. It's an amazing city building, world building, storytelling game that we just finished playing. I hope y'all had a very good stream. Feel free to come in, sit down, chill, chat, lurk, whatever you like. Let's go around one last time and ask everyone, maybe do a little epilogue, say something that was your favorite element, or take us in to one of the neighborhoods or landmarks or residents and give us a final little send-off from them. So think about what you might want to do. I love the little, I think the purple cloud is my favorite thing.
I think my favorite thing was the public transit theme, and just playing with the idea of that, and all of the different stuff that brings into thinking about a city and how everybody travels around. Yeah, like the Bramble is super interesting, and I love that we made the Magic Transit Authority.
Cat.
Super cool.
Not just a cat, a ghost cat.
Yeah. I like our city of ghosts and music and moving things.
Do you have a farewell for anything in the map that you want to say?
I mean, I'm a sucker for the Tribal District, but that's just my background. I like the idea of there being like a central area that's just all of this different type of music that's moving all in different forms.
Because you said that, I now have one. If it's okay, I'm gonna take us over Fountain Station, which we all know. Everyone here knows, even the folks that just coming in. You know, you all know how Treble Station works. Treble Station uses the magic of music to transport people, music and dance, because it's melodious and kinetic. And I just like the idea of the send-off. That we see a scene one day where the workers of Fountain Station, who normally are street performers who dance to get people across the city and take them to where they need to go, instead go on strike and only dance with each other.
Oh my god, I love it.
They unionize.
Unionize, Fountain Station workers!
Now is the time to seize the day.
Yeah. Exactly.
Amazing. So good.
Can I add a little epilogue off of your epilogue?
Yeah.
Which is that I think during the strike, Abigail gets to go explore some more. And like we see her down in the shards.
Oh my gosh.
Looking for the Glimmer. And I think she just hears like out of the darkness as she's like lost and stumbling around and like, this was a terrible idea. She hears somebody say, "Hey, you got a light?" And she turns around and she's like kind of crying and upset. She's like, "I'm just looking for the Glimmer and I just want to see it." And he's like, "I'll take you there." And like they go inside. And I think that she becomes the light that he needs and he becomes the audience she was looking for.
I love it.
I want Abigail to become a regular they see they see her skill of like dancing and performing.
Yeah.
And she becomes a regular.
Yeah, and she totally realizes that she didn't want that like treble life. She wanted that underground weird avant-garde life all along.
Yeah, Abigail. Heck
so
yeah.
Good.
And Vance like hypes her up. He's always like, "Oh, you gotta go to the Glimmer."
It's the lightest place around.
Man, that's so good. I think that's really all I'm gonna add to the epilogue. Like, yeah, they just like Vance really like just adopts the Glimmer and Abigail especially like as his found family, and yeah, it's happily ever after. And I will say my favorite part about this game was there's a mechanic built in like where we're supposed to be like asking each other what's new with the situation, like with a place or a person, or we're supposed to add to it as a mechanic, but I kind of found myself getting lost in it. Like we were just conversing about it and I was like, oh wait, that's like actually a thing in the game. It just felt like brainstorming. Really cool place. So that was a lot of fun.
Very fun, very fun.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these you end up just sort of talking about them rather than following the mechanics of the game. And the mechanics are there more or less if you sort of run out of ideas or get lost or something. It's to keep it going.
I mean, I did want to roleplay my sad in love ghost, but I just wasn't it's hard to communicate as a ghost in love with light and sound.
We did a little bit of that.
We did. I really appreciate Morgan. I really appreciate that you dived right into being a lighthouse. Can I just say?
I try to be a giving fellow performer.
Amazing.
I'm not sure there's anything I can add as an epilogue.
Something you want to wrap up or like?
What was your favorite part?
Yeah, what was your favorite thing in the city?
So much of it.
Yeah, it's hard to choose one thing.
Yeah, I don't have one thing. I like aspects of the shards. And if we had another round, I would have added a resident to that.
That's a
To the
really
shards?
cool.
Yeah. Or to the. Yeah, I had this idea for somebody who worked at the coder and crafted the crystals. I called them. I was going to call them a dreamweaver.
I like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this is definitely a game you could just like keep playing. Like you could just keep adding on to this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Every time I played this horror game, you get to the end of the session, yeah, I really won't do this again and carry on with this one. But, yeah. So yeah, I like the shards and the crystal aspect. I liked the transport via dancing from the fountain. And of course, I like the lighthouse idea because I've had that in my head since the start of the session.
Makes sense. I like it. All right then, if we're all done, thank you all so much for playing. Let's go around and say goodbye to everyone. I'm glad we got to do. I'm glad we got to do little epilogues. It made me feel like we did like complete the story a little bit more. But we did make a lot. Like we made a pretty decent little city. We made.
Yeah, totally.
And who knows? Maybe we'll come back to Concordance again someday.
Like it. So let's go around and say goodbye to everyone. Let's go in reverse order and thank all our guests. Tell us who you are, anything you want to tell folks about, feel free. And so we're going backwards, so let's start with Janae.
Hello, my name is Chanaya. I make art and play good games with nice people. You can find me anywhere on the internet as long as you can spell my name. Next Thursday, I will be on my ghost town of a channel, starting a campaign of 1,000-Year-Old Vampire by myself, because playing games by myself seemed like a really good idea in February, and now I really want to play games with other people.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing that Thursday, 2 p.m. Pacific time. And then August 8th, you'll be able to find me on Other Docs channel, where we are wrapping up this season of the Invisible Sun campaign. And This is fun. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much for playing. Jai was the first person, as soon as I mentioned Street Magic, was like, hey, got a space? And I was like, yay! Because I don't think we've gotten to play in a while, so I'm really glad. Thank you for playing. Thank you so much. So next in line is Anton.
Hi, I'm Anton. You can find me at Anton Garmola on Twitter. Finally, for the first time in doing one of these, I actually have something to plug. In that I now have a Twitch channel. So I stream on Tuesdays and Fridays most of the time. From 8 p.m. UK time, which is sort of afternoon in America and Canada. And mostly I play sort of chill indie games. Some with a space theme, some with just environmental theme. So yeah, come join, hang out.
Awesome. Awesome possums. And next is Jake.
Hey, I'm Jake. You can find me at Jacob Honey pretty much anywhere on the internet. I make art, and I have commissions open right now if you're interested. And so yeah, you can find me on Twitter, and I also like to hang out on this amazing channel a lot. So yeah, that's all. Thank you so much, Jess, for hosting this, and thank you all for just creating this really cool city. It's a lot of fun.
Heck yeah. Awesome. And Morgan.
I'm Morgan E. Lewandowska. You can find me on Twitter at mlewandowska, as well as here. Please just use the link. Just use the link. It's fine. Yeah, nothing to plug at the moment, but stay tuned to my Twitter for the future. I also mod for Dropout, and we are coming up on the finale episode of A Crown of Candy. So if you're looking to catch up on that, you can head over to dropout.tv and catch up, and we can hang out next Wednesday.
Heck yeah. I think I'm like one episode behind. I'm gonna catch up real soon. So good. It's so good. Anyway.
It's great.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
So, are you?
Maybe. Just a little bit.
Amazing. Just so you know, Morgan, several residents on my Animal Crossing island are still wearing the clothing you brought over, which is from a different Dropout show. It's very cute. It's very cute. It always makes me think of you every time one of them puts on the clothes. I'm like, it's Morgan's clothes. It makes me very
That makes me happy.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you all so much for playing. Hi everyone, my name is Jess. If you haven't already, hit that follow button so we can hang out. We play lots of games like this. We try to highlight lots of indie TTRPGs. That's fairly often on Fridays, on rotating Fridays with our Fiasco Friday, which is of course a fiasco every time. Tomorrow is actually the launch of our brand new Heart campaign. We're starting with a session 0, and we are supported by Roll20, so thank you, Roll20. We're gonna have a gorgeous map visible up on Roll20, along with there is Heart official like atmospheric noises, and each one is tailored to like a different location in the Heart. So like each one has different kind of spooky vibey music, and I literally have just been listening to it while I've been working on stuff because it's so good. So that is tomorrow. We're starting with our session 0, but stay tuned because we have some copies of Heart to give away, officially given to us by the creators of the game. So very excited to do that. So come hang out for those heckin' things. But yeah, and just quickly, I want to thank all my Patreon supporters who make games like this happen and actually vote on which ones we play. So, you know, when we play something awesome, you can thank them, and if we play something not bad, you can blame them and not me. But I'm kidding. They're amazing. Thank you, everyone.
Blame me.
It was
I'm
me.
a Patreon supporter. It's all my fault.
Amazing. Yeah. So if you ever want to get in on games, there is a level of Patreon where you get first dibs on spots. But then we do shout them out on the Discord, saying like, "Hey, there's still spots for this game, so let me know if you want to play." And we do that fairly often. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for tonight, but we're gonna go raid a good friend of mine, Urban Bohemian, who literally today just got partnered, who is an amazing heckin' queer streamer playing awesome, like lots of Dream Daddy smooches and cute little games, and just is a wonderful, chill, fun person who sometimes, you know, lets us hang out in his kitchen while he makes brunch, or it's just a very fun, warm atmosphere to be around. So please, if you got some butts, bring them along, or whatever hearts or hype you have to show this very cool person some love. Please heckin' do it. And also, don't forget to take care of yourself, heart your faces, be good out there, wash your hands, wear a mask, all those things. And we'll see you soon for more games, hopefully. Bye, everyone!